Health and safety. So every organization has to have a health and safety program. This presentation, I'm going to go through the slides and share the health and safety program with Therapeutic Connections. I'm going to put myself down to the bottom of the screen and here we go. So health and safety practices, Therapeutic Connections, we provide an emergency preparedness program to ensure the safety of all clients that we serve, as well as visitors and all of the staff that we have. In case of a natural disaster where services cannot be rendered, an alternative site will be used. At Therapeutic Connections, when you're onboarded, we do provide you with that location, but we have a partnership with another organization. So in the event of an emergency and our facility is non-operational and we can't meet there, we do have an alternative location to do that in the case of an emergency. In case of a power failure and there is no communication system, a cell phone will be used for emergency communications. During orientation of both the client and the staff, the emergency plans are communicated to the clients and all staff. Each emergency plan is tested annually for all shifts as applicable. A written analysis of the tests of the emergency plans and evacuations prepared by designated staff is shared regularly. The written analysis will document the effectiveness of each test of the emergency plan and identify corrective actions to be taken. The written analysis of the test of the emergency plan is reviewed by designated staff responsible for the health and safety program as well. Identification of unsafe environmental factors, a warning label that includes universal biohazard symbol, followed by the term biohazard, must be included on bags and containers of regulated waste, on bags and containers of contaminated laundry, on refrigerators, freezers, if there's any blood or specimen containers within the organization. With Therapeutic Connections, we don't have any hazardous or biohazardous materials. However, if you have a client on site and the client may vomit, that's a biohazard, or spilling any kind of detergents or anything that's poisonous. It'd also be a potential biohazard as well. So definitely want to make a note of that in our log and track that regularly in terms of how that issue was resolved. If there's a human waste incident, staff must clear the area, call the building maintenance crew immediately, and complete an incident report. And when communicating with the building maintenance crew, please describe to the best of your ability the type of biohazard. So again, those examples of vomit or blood or urine or feces, when you're working within behavioral health, any types of things could occur. Emergency procedures and equipment. So all staff must be familiar with the location and operation of the fire extinguisher and first aid kits as well. Each staff member that works at my company at Therapeutic Connections are issued a fire aid kit. The location of the facility, of the fire extinguishers and the kits, we also have a first aid kit on site, and it indicated the facility egress map. So through the corridor, each office, conference room, there's a map of the egress map, how to exit from the office in the case of an emergency. All staff will be trained on the operation of portable fire extinguishers. This training will be given to members of the local fire department or a member of the staff team who has had training in the fire safety. All fire extinguishers must be recharged annually. The gauge shall be checked regularly and extinguishers checked and recharged if the gauges indicate a drop in pressure. All fire extinguishers will receive an annual maintenance refill. Fire extinguisher tags will indicate the completion of this recharging event. Fires and fire evacuation plan. In the event of a large fire is any fire that cannot be put out by using the fire extinguisher. This fire evacuation plan will be implemented in those cases. The R is for rescue. So our clinical director and or their designee will sound the alarm and then call fire department at 911. It will be the clinical director or the designee responsible to take the cell phone and client roster with him or her to evacuate the building. Once out the building, that individual will immediately notify others in the area, rescue any clients or victims in the fire area, and close the door to the room or area involved. Do not reopen the door. So if there's any clients that's in the office location, whether it's in the session room, common area, kitchen, we want to make sure that everyone leaves at the same time. Don't run, try to just walk. Alarms, A is for alarm. It is the responsibility of the staff person to observe the fire, to immediately notify the clinical director or the designee, who will announce the need to evacuate immediately and call 911. Also provide the emergency dispatcher with the location, so providing the facility address and type of fire and the type of material that's burning as well. And confine, C. In the event of a fire, each staff is responsible for the following: order all clients and visitors to keep the doors closed until advised otherwise. Check to make sure all fire and smoke doors are closed and not blocked. Clear all of the corridors, all of the hallways. Clear all confidential information off desktops and other surfaces. Evacuate the premises via the route designated by the emergency egress map. Assist all clients out of the building via designated route. It is the responsibility of each staff member present to do so to close the fire doors. It is the responsibility of whichever staff person who first arrives at the designated evacuation point to take a head count and report any missing person to the first available management person to arrive on the scene. It is the responsibility of all staff to be mindful of fire safety and to report unsafe conditions to the clinical director of the organization. E is for evacuate and extinguish. So we have a disaster containment when and where advisable. Staff who are witnessing a fire, once alerting the clinical director should, or their designee should, evaluate the potential of containing such fire using the available fire extinguisher. And if the staff member determines a containment effort to be unsafe, proceed to the above described evacuation plan. So do not attempt to fight fires unless the fire department has been notified of the fire and you have a way out and can fight the fire with your back to the exit, and you have the proper extinguisher in good working order and know how to use it. Leave the area if you are not sure of your ability or the fire extinguisher's capacity to contain the fire. Therapeutic connection clients and staff should go to the designated location outside of the facility. This is the designated meeting location. If you are in the room, in our conference room or any of our offices and looking towards the parking lot, you can see to the very left a stop sign area, which is our designated rally point where we need to meet in the event of any emergencies. Critical incident reporting. Therapeutic Connections maintains a comprehensive incident reporting process to provide for the safety of our entire workforce and the clients that are served by our programs. Staff document all adverse and critical incidents that occur in the programs and follow all procedures for reporting of incidents to any external agencies as deemed appropriate. Any civil actions or charge brought against the organization or any staff will be reported directly to the clinical director and or the CEO immediately upon discovery. Medication management. Therapeutic Connections will not have any medication on site. Our medical director will prescribe medications electronically via our electronic medical record system, and all persons served will pick up all medications from a local pharmacy of their choice. This is up to your specific organization. Some organizations allow representatives to come and take samples and give samples to patients to bridge them in between prescriptions. At Therapeutic Connections, we choose not to hold any medications on site. Reducing physical risk. So the clinical director and/or designee shall be informed immediately of a visitor or client who becomes loud and/or disruptive, makes a threat, or is believed to pose a potential danger to himself or others. Once a concern for client or a visitor is validated, the clinical director or designee will escort the client or visitor into his office and leave the door open. De-escalation procedures. Therapeutic Connections addresses crises or emergencies, situations involved disruptive or aggressive acts experienced by individual family members or significant others. The contractor or the staff member will intervene on all assaultive, aggressive, disruptive, self-destructive behaviors using de-escalation techniques. The staff member will intervene on all assaultive, aggressive, disruptive, or self-destructive behaviors using de-escalation techniques that are all nonverbal. The staff member will call other staff to maintain the safety of clients and others. The staff will give consistent messages by the other staff that behavior is an unacceptable way of dealing with their feelings. So again, all of this stuff is verbal. It's not confrontational. It's really taking that time. The threatening of staff or clients will be dealt with calmly while informing the client that the behavior is not acceptable and cannot be tolerated. Should a client physically attack someone, a call to 911 is to be made to the police for their assistance. As soon as possible, the clinical director should be notified. Clients who are discharged or removed from the program due to aggressive or assaultive behaviors will be provided with follow-up and/or referral for alternate treatment within 72 hours post-discharge. An incident report is to be completed, and after review by the clinical director, it should be placed in the incident report file in our electronic medical records and not on our logbook, because we don't have a logbook any longer. Robberies. In the event of a robbery attempt, the contractor or the staff member shall follow instructions of the robber, staying as calm as possible. The staff member shall observe any and all possible identifying features such as height, where on the wall or door the robber head comes, clothing, color of their hair, their eyes. When the robber departs, the police should be notified immediately by dialing 911. Staff members shall assist the police with description of the robber and anything that may be stolen. Workplace violence. Staff members will receive documented training regarding de-escalation, workplace violence, dangerous weapon, and reporting of critical incidents upon hire and annually. All of our clients and visitors will receive information regarding violence, aggression, and weapons in the client handbook during orientation. Safety evacuation, identify a way out, have evacuation maps throughout the office, suite, building to identify the correct path. Designate a meeting spot outside of your office. Reviewed that with you already. This is our EGRIS, sample of our EGRIS map. To indicate where you are. I'll move my head over to the middle. You are here. If you're in our waiting room, you're here. This is where our conference room is. And it also shows where exits are. Our designated fire and safety person is our administrative office manager, who does all of the regular reports monthly in fire drills, fire safety, and evacuations. Now, at this time, I would encourage you all that's watching to review your own health and safety policies and procedures and really ensure that you know what is the evacuation plan in the event of an emergency. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something that can help you and your organization. Stay safe.